Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the podcast, What's the Odds, with Steve Renazizi. Welcome back. No, we didn't quit. No, we didn't stop doing the podcast. We were just licking our wounds for the last 2 weeks. That's what we were doing. We got beat up pretty bad on the gridiron, in life. I got booster shotted and then fucked up. I got fucked up, dude. Wild chills, fever, all that. Did you guys get any of that when you got your shit? Oof.
Cassie got it pretty bad. Her booster shot took her out for like a day and a half. Mine, I was fine the day I got it, and then the next day, like my bones felt sad.
I got the flu shot and the booster, boom, same day. And when I came home,
why would you do that? Why would they let you do that?
Well, let me tell you something. I wish someone else was with me, because that's what my wife said when I came home, and she's like, "What do you mean you did both?" First of all, I've never done a flu shot before.
I'm not blaming you. What I'm saying is, why would a medical professional, because we went in with the intention, we didn't think either, and we went in with the intention of we're going to get them both because we're here. And they were like, no, absolutely don't do that, because what if you have an allergic reaction? We're not going to know which one you had an allergic reaction to. Why would someone who is a medical professional administering those shots allow you to do that?
Because I went to a Rite Aid at 9:30 at night, and usually I don't think that's the Dr. Fauci shift. And then the lady's like, "We don't have any more Pfizer. We have Kirkland left." And I was like, "I'll take it. Whatever you have left."
Kirkland. We got the Walmart bin shots.
Look, dude, I'm trying to do my part here. All I want, I'm so sick of all of this. I really, like, I know, guys, we all did our due diligence. We all took our precautions. We all got our shots. We all stayed inside. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I'm done. I have to live my life now. So whatever, I'll do what you tell me to do. I've never gotten a flu shot before, so I banged that out. And actually, after a couple hours, I felt all right, but I just didn't sleep well that night. That's all. That's all. But on top, I've done it all, but I can't continue. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, everyone's like, oh, they're shutting down this or shutting that. Are the hospitals overflowing? Are people sick? Are people sick and at the hospitals? Are they?
I've heard that, but I don't kind of believe it.
I don't see it.
In the hospital.
I don't see any tickers with numbers and people being like, hey, it's 10. We remember when they, like, every day during like May of 2020, it was like, we lost this many people today. They had a ticker, a counter. Mm-hmm. I don't see a ticker going anymore, because I don't think it's. I mean, I know it's bad, but I don't think it's as bad as it was before. So I'm like, I did what I was supposed to do, but now you got to wear the mask inside to see a Knick game. We were supposed to go. A month and a half ago, I told Tracy, I go, "Is this me clicking? Do you hear that, by the way?" No? Am I?
Yeah, you're
I think your Wi-Fi is a bit wonky.
You're a little hot. Keep your mic down.
He's got a lot to say, Lucas.
Bringing it down to 64 now.
Okay.
About a month ago, I said, "Hey, I want to go. Let's go to a Knick game. Your boyfriend's in town because she loves Steph Curry." I said, "Let's go see, the Golden State Warriors and the Knicks." Well, she says, "We're going to go to do this. We do that. We have this thing coming up." I go, "All right. Is this a no? You don't want to go? We're too busy." She goes, "We'll think about it." Of course, we thought about it too late. And then the night before, he goes to get, and then she goes, "I want to go." I go, "Are you nuts? Tickets are like $950 a ticket now. We're not going. It's over. That ship sailed. Plus, you have to wear a mask inside. I'm fine. I'll wear the mask wherever you tell me to fucking wear the mask. But I'm triple boosted, vaxxed, Kirkland up, and I got to wear the mask inside, and I wear a condom. It's like, enough's enough. I can't do this anymore. I just fucking can't. I really, really can't. Between hairless cats being breastfed on planes, I'm done. I can't do this business. I can't. People, comedy. I know my gigs are going to get shut down. I know they are. I know it's going to happen. Is there a talk of that in LA? Is it bad there too?
I haven't heard anything, actually. It was
good.
It was worse like a month ago, where it sounded like we could get shut down. But our governor also knows if he does that, he's going to be run out of his house. So
who gives a fuck?
I don't see that happening.
Half the NFL has it now. Half the NBA has it. I don't even know who's going to be playing for the Browns this week. The coach has got it.
Baby, it's Case Keenum time.
Who knows? Keenum could light it up.
Should have been Case Keenum several weeks ago. They made a mistake starting Baker all those games.
Here's the deal, man. We are in. Let's get to the nitty gritty. We're in dire straits with both of our football teams. I mean, yours is in.
We got the NFL right where we want them, Steve.
We're still positive, Pete, on this thing. We haven't even. I mean, the last time
we're not out till we're out, baby.
Yeah, but like, this is not where you thought you were going to be. Am I right?
You just spoke robot. Your Wi-Fi sucks.
You know what, dude?
What you just said.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'm not fucking kidding. That came through perfectly. It's very ironic. The insults come through perfectly. The analysis just goes. Look, so we didn't get to do podcasts the last few weeks. I had a lot to say about the Patriots game. I was embarrassed. It was the first time I was embarrassed being coached by Sean McDermott. They made no adjustments that game. And his press conference after was embarrassing. Him saying, don't give any credit to Belichick. That was sloppy football on our part. That's not the truth. He was completely outcoached. He was outcoached, outclassed. And all that being said, the Bills still, you're going to look at the box score and say you're out of your mind, but the Bills outplayed them and they had them down to the last possession. They had a chance to win that game. And if you take out Damian Harris's 63-yard run, the Bills were only giving up 3.5 yards a carry. Mac Jones probably went to the trainer the next day to have his ankle looked at from all the pivoting that he did. He still hasn't shown me anything. And Belichick does what he does. He takes away your biggest strength and he hides his greatest weakness, which is their quarterback. So I still don't have faith that that team, aside from their defense, is going to go deep in the postseason because they don't have a quarterback. That's not saying that he can't develop into a great quarterback like Tom Brady did, but he's not ready. That team's not ready. So they don't scare me. And we still have a shot at the division. They got to play the Colts in Indianapolis this week. I think the Colts steamroll them, and then the Bills get their revenge game, and all of a sudden they're tied again, and the Bills finish the season with the Jets. So I'm not worried about the Patriots. The Buccaneers game, we came flat, played like shit in the first half, but to McDermott's credit, he made adjustments, and we completely outplayed them the second half, and it came down to the last play of the game, where Stephon Diggs was held in the end zone, and it should have been a personal, pass interference. Did you see the photos? I got to send you these photos. I sent them to Lucas. It looks like Diggs is wearing a fucking V-neck because he's getting pulled so hard. There are 4 referees in the frame of this one picture that all have eyes on the ball and on the plate. They call nothing because we're playing Tom Brady on the night that he's going to throw his 700th pass, and the NFL wants him to win. It should have been 1st and goal Buffalo from the 1-yard line with 25 seconds to go against a defense that had just called a timeout with 1:02 to go, a few plays earlier, which you don't do because Tom Brady's on the bench. They showed him and he's going, what just happened? Why did the clock stop? Because the defense was fucking exhausted. So if you call that penalty, which you should have, you put the ball at the 1-yard line with a quarterback who's 6'7", 240, you think Tampa Bay's winning that game? Not a chance. So the games that they have lost have all been close except for Indy. They have a good team. They one of the most talented teams in football. McDermott just needs to figure it out, and this team can roll. So I'm not worried. I love the talent. I love the heart of Josh Allen. I mean, who played better football than Josh Allen last weekend? There was not a single player in football who outplayed Josh Allen.
Played a great game.
I'm not worried. I'm positive, and I still say Mac Jones sucks. That's not saying that in 2 or 3 years he could be a great elite quarterback, but right now, haven't seen anything.
I'll start with the Patriots game, which we watched the first half of. And yeah, I do agree. Played under optimal conditions. Maybe not optimal, maybe just cold weather without like 85-mile-an-hour gale force winds. Then I think it probably ends up being a different game. But when you have someone who is blatantly showing you their hand on what they're going to do, they might as well not have had any wide receivers on the field. And you can't stop what they're telling you they're going to do. That is a bad, bad sign. They literally could not stop the run.
That was on McDermott. By the third drive, he should have put 11 guys in the box and went man-to-man coverage, and he stayed too deep the entire game. They did not adjust at all until maybe late in the fourth quarter when they started stopping them a little bit more, but they made no adjustments. And after the second drive where they're like, oh, they just ran every time, put 11 guys in the box, make Mac Jones beat you over the top. Because, I mean, the guy completed 2 passes. One was because Jonnu Smith is a freak athlete and went up and got it. It was a horrible throw. And the other was a 7-yard screen pass to his running back.
Look, dude, you guys have a big problem stopping the run, and you know it. And it's a problem that's going to, that you can't, I mean, when you look at the AFC, you have the Titans could possibly get back Derrick Henry. You have arguably the best offensive player in the league in Jonathan Taylor. Okay. And the Patriots just ran the ball down your throat and on your own home field.
Take out Damian Harris's 63-yard run. They gave up 3.5 yards a carry.
Dude, whenever they needed to stop them, they couldn't. You know it and I know it. We both said it. They couldn't stop the run, and they knew it was coming. That's the problem. That's the problem. They knew it was coming. The man threw 3 passes the entire game. Now, again, that doesn't answer your question, can he hold up in the playoffs? But in big-time situations, he doesn't get, he's not. They're telling you what they're going to do. They're going to beat you by not making any mistakes. And you guys could not stop the run. Big time mistake. Even when they told you they were going to do it. The Bucs game was a whole different story. The Bucs game, it was like I was like, oh my God, they've given up on the season. The first half, I was like, oh, they're done for the season. They got beat so badly, and they got the wind knocked out of them so bad the week before. Pardon the pun. Then they got up, and they continued. And I knew it. Like they kept coming back, kept it close. But here's the problem. Yes, I do think it was bullshit. The penalty. I do think they could have called it. I don't think it was a Tom Brady in the league situation getting together. But here's where it comes down to. Okay, you win the coin toss, right? You get the ball, 3 and out, dude. Was it 3 and out, or it was real? I don't even think they got a first down. I don't think they got that. I think is what killed you. That, because then you let Tom Brady. If you give the ball back to Tom Brady, it's without like having to score
back to Tom Brady, and then Tom Brady got a pass interference call on Mike Evans that wasn't a pass interference.
Yeah.
You're right, Steve.
And
you're right.
They looked at that. Didn't they look at that?
They looked at that, and they brought in the rules analyst, and he said, this is not pass interference. If anything, it's a penalty on Mike Evans. He initiated the contact. He went over the top and wrapped the guy up and pulled him into him. It's not pass interference on the defense. They looked at it, Steve. So you're right. But the problem is, and I'm not saying there's a conspiracy where Brady is paying refs but he gets these calls at the worst possible time for the team that he is playing. And it happens consistently. And that killed us. And then the next play or two was the broken play to Perriman for the game-winning touchdown. We had them stopped, and they gave him a pass interference call that kept that drive alive.
And part of me thinks too, the NFL is, because that holding call on Brady's final drive, if you call that, you have to call Diggs holding. That's what got to me. And yes. I think the NFL is doing all they can to get a Bucs-Pats Super Bowl. And I'm fine with that. I kind of want to see it myself. But after watching that, I'm like, holy shit, it's
becoming really obvious. And I want to sidebar WIVB Buffalo reported a few days ago that after questionable officiating, Bills Mafia donated more than $40,000 to visual impairment organizations in honor of NFL referees. So leave it to the Bills Mafia to have something bad happen and make something good out of it.
Well, they should have donated as well to a charity for linebackers because they might need some that can stop the run. That might help too.
Yeah, Edmonds is having a rough go.
I mean,
Wait,
look, I do think you guys still have one of the most talented quarterbacks, and I mean, let's hope he's healthy. He does run the ball, and I mean, trying to go for that first down, coming down on his knee like that. You don't like to see that, but I understand why he did it. He's trying to win the football game. He is extremely talented, but McDermott's decision making or lack of being able to transition on the fly to a different game plan, plus the fact that you guys have proven that the run is a big issue. Those are two big problems to have, especially when it comes to January football. It's going to suck. You're going to have to make quick decisions and move off of things real quickly that aren't working, and you're going to have to be able to stop the run, especially in critical situations. You know, you want to put other teams in third down and long, second down and longs, but if you're giving up 5-6 yards on the first down on the run every fucking drive, well, guys can convert second and threes and third and threes. Those are, you know, first down 6-yard runs are drive killers for the defense. So, I mean, look, I'm glad you guys aren't ready to you know, kill yourselves, but you should be. It's tough. I mean, I think you have less than 20%.
Disappointed. We have less than 20%.
I say
it's higher than
no.
that.
20% to win the division. I'm saying
Look,
it's
if
50-50 to make the playoffs right now.
If the Pats lose and the Bills win against Carolina this week, it's very interesting.
Here's the problem, okay? And now I like the fact that the Colts are coming. I think the Colts are a great team. They're coming off a bye, but you're giving Bill Belichick a bye too. They gave Bill Belichick up the late season bye.
By the way, the NFL needs to figure that out, and bye week should not go past week 12 in an 18-week season. That is,
I mean, this is crazy. This is a big advantage. I watched Hard Knocks last night. These guys are like, you know, relaxing and you know.
Yeah.
What about a team that had to bye the week? What was it? Week 4? What week started buys?
Week
5
4 buys,
Yeah.
and now you have a week 14. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you. I don't even know how they. Like, if you gave me 100 years and unlimited funds, I could never put a schedule together where every team would play. The teams are supposed to play when they're supposed to play and not double book anyone. There's no way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, you have 6 teams on bye 1 week, 2 teams on bye the next week. It should just be 4 teams a week starting week 4 and do it through week 12. And I don't know how you figure out who gets the later ones, if it's flip a coin or pull numbers out of a lottery, but it should not go this late. It's like an extra bye week before the playoffs. Like the one team that gets that bye, it's another bye. It's bullshit.
And they used to do it by the whole division. So like the whole AFC East would get the bye week next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when they changed that. It's been about 2 years, but
Look, it is a big advantage to have a week off this late because now they do that. It's like now they can get ready for like the playoffs for the Colts are like starting right now. Like they're
Damien
ready to go.
Harris hurt his hamstring against the Bills, left that game. If they had to play the next week, they wouldn't have had him, and he's arguably been their best offensive weapon. He gets an entire week off to rehab and rest and probably will play this week.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a lot of what ifs, but the fact that it is an advantage. But I think I like to see 2 teams coming off a bye that I think are 2 teams that belong in the playoffs in the AFC. I'd like to see are going to be playing each other. That is a tough game. What is the spread on that?
2.5 in favor of the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Colts on that. I really do. I like them covering 3, but something about Bill Belichick with that extra week off, you know, ideal conditions, getting his team ready again. We'll table it for later on. The Giants are a complete, you know, it's when you fire your offensive coordinator and then you can muster up 20 points in the next 3 games. It's like, what are we doing out here? What are we wasting time for? Everybody's sick or hurt, or they don't, you know, no one's Freddie Kitchens isn't calling a play for them. Saquon Barkley, it's so sad. It's so sad to watch someone who's so talented it's like watching Superman when he fucking lost all his powers. It really fucking blows. So, I mean, maybe we'll hire Urban Meyer and turn things around. I don't know. That's our last bet here, but it's definitely. And you know what the sad thing is? It's like it's not everyone. It's not all of them. It's not anyone's particular fault. It's not Daniel Jones's fault. It's not Joe Judge's fault. But they all got to go. And what about 2 first-round
Joe
picks?
Judge is safe. I heard he's safe for 1 more year.
How could you be safe if you're going to fire the general manager?
I've been hearing the rumor mill. They're saying that Joe Judge is going to be okay to coach 1 more season. They're going to give him a shot.
You know what? Then that's poor management. Then I'm telling you, if you're going to fire the GM, you have to say everyone. I'm going to fire. And if my GM comes in, the new guy, and he doesn't like Joe Judge or doesn't like to run this, then it's like Joe Judge is gone. And I get it's not his fault, but it's the way. It's like I want a fresh thing coming in. Keeping pieces of a dead body around, it's not doing anyone any good. Everyone's got to go. Everyone's got to go their separate ways. I'm sure Joe Judge is going to be a great coach one day. He's probably should be a coordinator for a little while longer. It seems like there's a lot of plates spinning around, and I don't think he's got them all, a finger underneath each one of them. And I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do. You got Urban Meyer, who has way less of an ability than Joe Judge does to be able to, run a program or run a fucking team. Urban Meyer should be ashamed. Dude, this fucking guy, he's never going to get a job again. I mean, someone will hire him. But
he gets paid that entirety of his contract to not work now. So I think he's fine.
Look, they're going to try to go after him for whatever that, they'll say he's like conduct unbecoming. If he kicked the fucking guy, you can't kick a player. At least
find me the tape.
I don't know how that works, but there was tape of him dry humping a co-ed when he should have been with his team. There's enough to go around. I don't put it past anyone to try to get some money out of this. But again, it's like this guy got a fucking job. This guy will probably be running a college. I bet you if you ask Notre Dame right now, they'd be like, oh, fuck. But, look, that would be a disaster. If you brought an Urban Meyer to run your team right now, it'd be a disaster. Absolute disaster, a PR nightmare. The guy is toxic right now. But this guy, I thought his heart was supposed to explode about 100 years ago. He wasn't supposed to coach anymore. Maybe he should just fucking retire for a while. Relax. He doesn't look that old, but he can come back later on. Fucking relax. What's with this computer? Do you hear that? I miss Emma so much. She fixes all the shit. I don't know how to fix any of this. Every time I talk, it sounds like a mumble.
It's gotta be your Wi-Fi.
Dude, the Wi-Fi is great. I just did 3 cameos.
What's the weather doing right now? Maybe that's affecting it.
My neighbors? I can't hear anything when you guys talk now. This is a complete fucking disaster. Every fucking week. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Because I feel like if I switch Wi-Fi or turn it on and off, we're going to lose the recording, right? And then we're fucked.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then
no, I think we just got to power through this one.
Yep.
Just like the listeners are right now.
What listeners? I'm so depressed. The Giants suck. The Yankees are, we have to wait till March for fucking the Knicks suck again. We thought they'd be great, but they suck.
Yeah, but they were part of history. That was fun.
I would, yeah. On the wrong side, they give,
Yeah, but you were there,
I wasn't there. I didn't go.
I know, but you were there spiritually. Your team was there.
Don't start those rumors again. I can't go through that again. I was not there.
Did you see Spike Lee taking photos?
I did not see Spike Lee because I wasn't there.
Lucas, can you find that?
Yeah.
He's laying on the ground like he's a boyfriend taking Instagram model.
Who is he taking pictures of?
Of Curry, who had his back to him, by the way. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know if he was joking around or if he was being serious, but it was bizarre.
Oh, I got to be able to share screen.
Here we go.
He was very into it.
Oh my God, it's his ass. Why is he? And that's why he's never won an Academy Award for Best Director.
The one where he's on his ass, not on his knees, but the other one where he's literally like laying down almost.
Do you think the Knicks send him those outfits? I mean, like, do they send it? Like, do they say you have to wear this whole color block together, or do they go like, hey, man, you can wear some jeans or blue pants with this as well, or you just want to look? Who am I to say anything? He's been there forever during the lean years. Good for Spike Lee. I'm happy that things are happening. Steph Curry, I'm happy that he's fucking, but the game, it's like, I understand. I'm not, look, Reggie Miller, unbelievable clutch shooter when like threes where no one was shooting threes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When like, it was like it meant something. Now you got 7-foot guys who don't know how to post up, but everybody can shoot a three. They're shooting it from wherever they want. They take the fucking lines off the court. Take the lines off. They don't mean anything anymore. They shoot from where they want to shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised the NBA hasn't made it.
Last night's Pelicans game.
Oh, that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
The Pelicans game finished. That was crazy.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, you want to pull that up? I mean, I watched that this morning. It was ridiculous.
Pull which
it was
and last night's Pelicans was it Pelicans Thunder?
Pelicans Thunder. The Thunder were down by 3 with about 4 seconds left. And then I can't even say that guy's name. Schroeder. I don't know what that guy's name is. But I've never seen a shot like that. He like shot it sideways from his hip. Throws up the 3. Makes it 1.4 seconds left. And then the fucking Pelicans come down. Here we go. I mean, look at that shot from the hip. 1.4 on the clock. Everyone's celebrating already. Oh, we're going to go to overtime. Wait a second. This is, that's the hip shot. And then now, here we go. Everyone. Yeah. Oklahoma City. Here we go. Oh, geez. Brings it in. And then that's buckets, dude. Buckets. Back to back.
I love when, it happens a lot to Buffalo, but I love when fans are all excited and then immediately devastated. That's like one of the greatest things in sports is just a collective of thousands of people going crazy. And then all of a sudden their hearts are ripped out.
But guess what? They probably practiced that. They practiced that shot probably because that's like a shot that, guys expect to make that shot now. That used to be a Hail Mary in basketball. Now it's like, I want to go like 1 for 10 on these fucking shots or make 2 or 3 a year. And that's happening because anybody shoots from everywhere now. So it's tough to teach the game. I'll tell you that.
ESPN, during the broadcast, during the Knicks broadcast with Curry breaking the record, they put up a stat sheet of this is the percentage of points that are scored through threes through the eras. And it was like, when basketball started, it was like 0.02%. And now it's 35.5% of the total points scored in a game are through 3-pointers. So the game's completely changed.
I mean, I don't know if I've said this before on the podcast or it was recently or whatever, but it's like, I blame like the fact that, nobody plays defense anymore, but also that in a pickup game, a 3 is worth 2 and, everything else is worth 1 usually, when you're playing to 11 and that's weighted an extra 50%. Whereas like with the way it is in regular basketball, it's 2 points and 3 points. It's really only a third of a shot, a better of a percentage shot to take. Do you understand what I'm saying? As far as the math concerned? So they're making it way more important on the street game than, that. And on top that, Steph Curry is sort of, changed the game where it's like these guys can shoot from wherever and, there's no more grinding out of possession, working the ball into the post. It's like, it's an all-star game now. It's get the first shot available, get it up into the air and then, run back and play defense a little bit, pretend like you are. And then, wait to get the ball the next time and run it back down. I mean, I would love to see the numbers of possessions in the 90s versus the average number of possessions a team gets now.
Yeah,
it's
the
got to
pace a
be.
lot faster now.
So yeah, I mean, again, I'm not. Steph Curry is fucking ridiculous. The way, I mean, again, it goes to the thing we were talking about before with the Bills. It's like we all know he's going to shoot threes for the most part, and they still can't stop him. And I'm talking, really being some of the best defenders out there, being in his fucking face, and they still can't stop him. But it is a thing where it's like, if he's going to dribble up court and then just stop maybe 3-4 steps over half court and launch a three, well, I'm not going to get out. I got to get out and guard that now. What the fuck, So, yeah, the game has evolved into a completely a different version of itself, and the value of low post, long possessions really isn't there anymore. So, until it comes to the playoffs, that's when it all the game slows down. Everything becomes a little more focused, but. Yeah, I know. It would have been nice to have gone, but yeah, the Knicks are fucking. Everything is just. It sucks right now in New York. Although it's Christmas, and that's lovely. I saw the the Rockettes show last week. Another thing that's like it looks a little antiquated now. I remember going as a kid. Now it's like.
Is it the same show?
Kind of. I don't know. They dance, and then there's a Santa Claus that kind of narrates the whole thing. The kids are all there. They're loving it. I mean, my boys are like, trying to fight each other, but there's like little girls in dresses and stuff that were really paying attention. They seem to really enjoy it. But yeah, it was fun. It was, the city's nice during the Christmas time. And then, in 2 weeks when it's January and it's 4 degrees outside, everyone's ready to kill each other. That's the holiday spirit. That's the time of the year that you want to get the fuck out of town, which, by the way, I will be. I'm adding more dates. January, I'm going to Naples. Thank you. January, I'm going to Naples, Florida. Off the Hook Comedy Club the last weekend in January. I think it's like the 27th, 8th, 9th, and 30th or something like that. So that's a new date. I'll put that up on my website soon. Buffalo and Philadelphia added 2 dates in March, one in March and one in February. So those will be up real soon and at the Helium Comedy Club in both those cities. So yeah, more dates coming out. But yeah, Florida in January sounds like a good idea. By then, my booster shots will be I'll have a lot of fucking antibodies flowing through me. So whatever they got down there, they can't give to me or it won't kill me at least. So we'll probably get to see Simone, hang out, maybe, golf a little bit. And that's that. So, I'm glad you guys aren't worried about the Bills. Do you think they're going to win this week? Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
then
what are they? 10 and a half.
No, they have to.
It's 10 and a half, right?
Right now it is 11.
Yeah, because who do you have again?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Who have just
on the road
activated Sam Darnold. They pulled Cam Newton out last week because he was playing very badly, and they have activated Sam Darnold, so they are desperate.
All right. Sam Darnold is not the answer, but
he's going to be backing up Cam Newton. So if one plays poorly, you get to throw the other one in, and let's see what happens.
They're home, right? The Panthers.
No, the Bills are home.
Oh, the Bills are home. Forget it. The Bills better win by 2 touchdowns, and they better look good.
Yeah,
and they better hold the fucking homeboys to under 100 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Well, the Panthers don't have McCaffrey, so
yeah, under 100 yards rushing.
Chuba Hubbard did not look great last week.
I don't give a fuck. Hubert Hubbard, anyone. Sam Hubbard, Sam Shepard. No one has to run for 100 yards. They have to show that they are not like. Otherwise, if everyone starts running, I mean, it's game over, dude. It's game over.
Well,
they have to stop the
just
run.
Needs to adjust his defense.
I will say though, I have heard rumors in New York about your offensive coordinator being our new offensive coordinator soon. Apparently, the both of them worked under Joe Judge, and your guy worked together. I don't know, maybe Belichick somewhere along the line. But I kind of liked what you got. I mean, look, we don't have a Josh Allen. We've got a Pinocchio boy right now. But if we got a whole new
Danny Long Neck or Danny Dimes?
Danny Dimes.
Mike Glennon's neck is longer than the football.
He looked terrible last week. That was, oh my God. So bad. so bad. I mean, like I watched. I didn't even watch the last 2 minutes because it was like I know they scored a touchdown and Barkley got a touchdown. And it's like it's nice to pad some stats, but they weren't ever competitive at all. At no point in that game were you like, this is a football team that can beat that football team. At no point, zero. We haven't been in a competitive situation in a very long time. And guess what? I don't think it's happening this week either. I really don't. I think it's going to be a fucking blowout. I think this is the week that Dak gets all his shit together and figures it out. They get all their problems out. I mean, the Giants defense is pretty good. They're better than our offense, but it's after a while of sitting there trying to, they're going to have to block because I'm sure they'll go after Dak, but they'll figure it out and our secondary will get beat. And before you know it, we'll be down by 2 touchdowns and it's game over. So, yeah, I mean, I think what was the spread? 4.5? I have it over here.
It's 11.
What is it?
4.5 is very optimistic. It's 11.
11?
Unless I'm reading that wrong. Let's see.
Oh, I just
Where
had
are
10.
you?
10 on ESPN. Oh my God. I thought it was 4.5.
That's very optimistic. It's 11 on DSI. So
11-point dogs.
Yeah, you might just want to watch a different game this Sunday.
It's going to be our 5th straight double-digit losing season. 5th straight.
Although I will throw this out, little fun betting stat, Steve. So in the history of football, when a team has played their 3rd consecutive road game, they either lose outright or do not cover the spread over 30% of the time. And this will be the Cowboys' 3rd straight road game. So will the Giants add to that total?
I honestly, I'm going to tell you something right now. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I didn't listen to a word you just said. Do you know why?
Because the Giants are losing no matter what.
Yes, but I just figured out how to fix them in one felt swoop. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
We hire, what's his name? The ready for this? Holy shit. The Seahawks GM, which his name is, he was on the league. I know
John
him. He's
Schneider?
Yes, Schneider. I was going to say Dan Schneider, John Schneider.
It's not John Schneider, is it?
Yes, it is John Schneider. We hire him away from Seattle because Seattle's that's a band that's got to break apart too. They're all going to go away. They're all going to go their separate ways.
Well, if you know the guy, call him.
He comes over. Wait, I'm not done yet.
Be a fan.
He comes over. First thing he does, trades the first 2 picks back to the old Seattle. Build your shit over, and we'll take Russell Wilson. We get Russell Wilson in New York. Schneider. We got that offense, and we use the rest of the draft capital to build up the defense and the offensive line, and away we go. Hello. Seattle Seahawks East. Do what you did in 6 years ago with the Seahawks. Do it to us.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, there was a rumor that that Wilson was willing to ignore his trade clause and go to Denver, but then it came out that that wasn't true, and he plans on staying in Seattle. So something major would have to happen over the course of the next few weeks for him to be going somewhere else.
That's pretty major to me, dude.
Maybe that is John coming over to the Giants. So I think you need to make a phone call.
As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to get on the phone. I'm telling you right now. I mean, look, let's do some picks because this is disgusting to me. I can't talk about the Giants anymore. I can't believe they're a 10-point dog or 11-point dog to a division rival this late in the season. And as soon as we lose this game, another double-digit loss season, 5th straight.
You need to add on at home.
Gave up another touchdown with less than 2 minutes in the first half.
Doing their 3rd straight road game outside.
All right. Any games stick out to you? Because a couple have come my way I've thought about, but
absolutely. The Jaguars. How can you not love Jacksonville right after firing Urban Meyer?
Why do I love Jacksonville? Tell me why I love Jacksonville. That's the only reason?
Because, Steve. No. So here's the deal. He was fingering that girl's butthole many weeks ago. Seems like an entire season ago, so long ago. And the next day, he had the team gather. They canceled practice. He explained what was going on in about 90 seconds. And the reports were after he left, the entire team erupted with laughter. They didn't respect him. He never got their trust back, lost the locker room completely. He was making questionable calls, not playing James Robinson. You know what he
Reminds
said?
me of when like Fat James used to try to assert his authority in the kitchen about the parking lot. He'd be like, and nobody parks there, okay?
Did you see the James Robinson drama that was going on the last few weeks? Like the reporters asked him, why aren't you playing James Robinson? And he said, you'll have to talk to my running backs coach. Like, what? You don't talk to a specialty coach about the playing time of players when you're the head. Like, he passed it off to them. And then he said the next week, we're going to play him a little bit more. Didn't play him at all. Again, he got like 6 carries. Trevor Lawrence says, we need our best player, who is James Robinson, on the field. The next week doesn't play him again. Like, he's a fucking idiot. So he's gone. That whole team is going to come together. They're so excited. They get to start new. They have talent. They're a talented team with terrible coaching, and they're playing a well-coached team with no talent. So I think at home, everyone's excited. They should beat the Texans by a touchdown.
It would be nice. I love, you know, the weeks after people get fired, everyone usually comes together. Either it's a complete disaster or something miraculous happens. So why not? Why not the Jaguars? Why not be there? They beat you guys. And I know that's why you're trying to prop them up a little bit. Don't worry. There's no strength of schedule in the NFL, so don't worry about that, okay?
It's the Texans, Steve. That's the main reason why.
I get it, but they won 2 games too this year.
They shouldn't have. They're very well coached. The other game I really like is, and we can still get a good line on this, the Bengals just lost their best offensive lineman and their best coverage corner to COVID, and the Broncos are only laying 3 points at home. Bengals are coming off a really tough overtime loss. They have to travel again. They're playing in a high altitude. I like the Broncos at home. And
by the way, the Broncos are still in this thing too. They're 7-6. They have the same record you guys do. So
yes,
of course, I like the Broncos by a field goal at least too.
They are fighting for their playoff lives.
That was one of the games I was at a little
those
pin
are the
next
two
to.
that jumped out at me. I mean, the other one, I don't want to take them all, so maybe I'll leave it to you guys. But I did have a third that I would personally parlay together.
Okay, Lucas, you got any games? And I have one that I'm going to go for it.
It's not Pittsburgh and Tennessee, is it?
Nope.
It is.
That's yours?
That would have been my third.
Which side are you thinking?
I am definitely on Pittsburgh.
Me too. All right, we're good. Let's take it. Because I have 1.5 over here. What do you have?
I have a point. So it's basically
even better. And they're at home. And Tennessee is Tennessee. I'm not very confident in them right now.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger's been playing really well. As bad as he's been and as much as he should have retired the last couple of weeks, he's played very well when he's had to. And he's going to be able to throw over that secondary.
And they had 10 days off.
They had 10 days off. Their defense isn't great, but Tennessee's offense is missing everybody. Their defense sucks. I think that Pittsburgh at home should handle business in a must-win game.
Do you see a lot of points in that game?
Yeah, it should be. It depends on the weather, but I do see a lot of points. And this week, the sportsbooks point total is really, really low everywhere. So there are a few games that if the weather is fine, if it's not windy and there's not heavy rain or heavy snow, like take the overs and make some money.
I like 2 games in LA that have no weather at all. I like the Chiefs to cover 3 tonight on the road against the Chargers. And then I like the Rams to cover against the Seahawks 4 days from now on Sunday. I think, the Rams, their win last week, I think will help them. I mean, they seem to assert their game plan and dominated. For the first quarter, they dominated the Cardinals as far as like the line of scrimmage. Aaron Donald, Von Miller, they seem to really make an effort to go, okay, we have to become a defensive juggernaut. We have to be bad. And so they did a good job. Aaron Donald had 3 sacks. It's like even the last play of the game, he just was patient, waited, and then went and got Kyler Murray. So I think coming off that, they're gonna. It was a 4.5. I think it was 4.5. That was wrong.
So Steve, I agree with your analysis completely.
Yeah.
But COVID is ravaging the Rams right now, and the line was actually pulled off of BetDSI. I was looking 5 minutes before we jumped on this, and I haven't seen anything reported yet.
Who's got COVID?
But Odell Beckham apparently went out and got
what?
it. Higbee had it last week.
3 weeks in a row.
Game. Henderson had it, so it's going through the locker room.
Yeah, they have the worst situation.
Yeah, that could throw a big. Well, I would say the Browns have the worst situation because Baker Mayfield went out like a.
But they have like
idiot.
14 players on it. Yeah, the SportsCenter had a stat up of every team and how many COVID cases, and the Rams have like double, I swear, of any other team. Like there's something going on the West Coast right now that, like you're asking Steve, like is LA threat to shut down? I don't feel it, but in the last week or so, like we've had a couple people at the store come down with COVID. Like there's shit that just makes you put on a mask and really be vigilant. And
okay, so I am seeing the line now, and they have the Rams 5.5.
I had him at 4.5 on ESPN, but whatever. I mean,
I can buy the point.
I didn't realize that half the team. I mean, like, I just like the way they played. I'm not a fucking doctor. What are we even bothering for with this shit? This is crazy town.
And what's messed up about it too is Sean McVay said, he said all the players that contracted it were all vaccinated. So it's especially frustrating. And so Beckham could play on Sunday, probably will.
They're going out. Just don't go out. I know that's asking a lot, but wait till February and then go out and do whatever you want. The women are still going to be there. You're still going to have your money.
Who goes out? It's cold out.
Odell Beckham went. Well, he's in LA. It's not cold.
It's cold in LA too, dude. It's rainy and cold. It's just as cold as it's here. It's 56 degrees here today.
Well,
what is it there?
Reportedly went out to a bar and was seen out and about, and now he has it. So
I love how the cunt lives by himself in the fucking stadium, bothering no one during these progressive commercials. But then when it comes to actually being safe in real life, he's out partying.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening here?
Well, he's not going to be re-signed, that's for sure.
It ain't. Or maybe he knows it now, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to go Johnny Manziel on these people."
Yeah.
I mean, he's talk about someone who's lost. If he signed last year if they offered him $100 million for 4 or 5 years last year, he probably should have. Well, he should have taken it, but he's going to cost himself. Who knows? So he might be the Giants quarterback next year.
Maybe he goes to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, the Giants.
Yeah. I wouldn't want him if I was either of those places. I think he's a career backup guy. I don't think he's never made that step forward to really show I should be a starting quarterback.
You know what's frustrating too about the Giants is that I'm watching the man in the arena, the Tom Brady thing, and it's like those two teams that went to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots, they were not good. Like they weren't great football. They weren't extremely talented. They weren't they weren't jammed with fucking superstars and offensive weapons left and right. It was like a team kind of like what we have now. A couple names, a couple fucking journeymen, some people that no one's ever heard of. But why the fuck could they pull it together in those years? And now it's like it looks like if you told me they were like a high school football team that hasn't gotten a chance to practice or practices once every other day, it's like that's what they're showing up and looking like. That's the competitiveness that they have. And that team at least hung around and we're in fucking games. Even games they lost, they were in them. This team, there's nothing about it. There's no fucking fight or just, resistance to fucking failure. It sucks. Sorry. Did my Wi-Fi go out during that? Hopefully.
I know Strahan.
I mean, but do you think? I mean, look, Strahan maybe yes.
All of it.
Eli, I don't think Eli was a.
Manning's the greatest quarterback in the history of football. Very inspiring. The guys on the sideline, they knew if they looked to him, he'd have that resting dumb idiot face, and that would just light a fire in everyone's belly and they'd go out and give 110%.
Yeah, I think he's better than Peyton.
Dude, everybody watched Eli like this. Oh God. That's how we watched Eli. We're happy that it happened. We're happy that he won. But I didn't feel like Eli was inspiring.
I would gladly take a quarterback as uninspiring as Eli and win 2 Super Bowls with my team that will probably never win a Super Bowl. Gladly take. You Giants fans are so fucking spoiled.
Are you kidding me, dude? We're going through hell. Do you understand this?
Went through hell for 18 years.
Well, and the amazing
when you get to 18 years, and the Sabres, by the way, they're probably going to go 18 years before they make the playoffs. It's a joke that you guys think that, oh, woe is me. You have championships from every franchise.
The Rangers haven't won in fucking 25 years, almost 30.
Your major league soccer team just won. The Major League Soccer team in New York just won. New York football.
I'll end this right now if you bring that up again. I'll end this right now. I'll end the podcast, the whole thing. I'll never do another episode if you bring up the MLS team again.
Well, the amazing thing too, Steve, you talk about those Giants teams, like why this team can't be like, I mean, those Giants teams that both won the Super Bowl in 2011, 2007, they were wild cards, right?
Yeah, they were 9-6.
And they went on the road and won every fucking game.
Yes, because they had guts and grit.
Yeah.
We have none of that. None of that. And I don't know if it was Tom Coughlin's rosacea and the fact that he screamed and beat people, but if that's what it fucking takes, I'm sorry, dude. Get somebody back in there that does that shit. We need a pimp hand. We need a pimp hand. We cannot coddle these cunts anymore. The Yankees need a pimp hand. The Giants need a pimp hand. The Knicks have a pimp hand. I don't mind it. I like fucking Tom Thibodeau. I like the fact that he says, I'm not playing a guy we just signed for $100 million because I don't like the results. Now, I'm not sure. I think at some point you got to figure out how to work him back into the system because you can't just have him sit there. He's not a piece of garbage. And that's, you got to figure out how to do that. But I like that Tom Thibodeau's like, I run this team the way I want to fucking run it. It makes, I don't know. And I'm not saying Joe Judge is a fucking softy, but he's not like this, like all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed fucking coach because, you know, it's not, nothing's working. The offense is a disaster, a fucking disaster. I mean, every one of these guys that Belichick brings up after somebody gets hurt or somebody goes on the COVID list, like I don't ever hear about like which Patriots. I don't even know any of the Patriots' names. I don't know any of their fucking offensive lineman names. I don't know any of them. To me, it's just 5 guys lined up that Bill Belichick told what to do this week, that know what they're doing. That's who they are. The Giants, oh, this guy got hurt. That's why. Who gives a fuck? Every fucking team is hurt. Every one of them. They all are hurt. Everyone is hurt. Everyone is dying of COVID. It is not an excuse anymore. You have to coach all 53 guys. I mean, you're seeing it, dude. Urban Meyer ask my fucking running backs coach. You got fucking who's the guy on the?
You don't
didn't know fucking
never
Minshew was going to be playing that week. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You know what I want to coach? Give me the Colts special teams guy that watches the film, calls out the weaknesses, and knows where they are. Was that Joe Judge 4 years ago? Great. Here's what you got, Joe Judge. That's your fucking job again. Be the best at that again. That's where you're best. Let fucking someone else run the whole thing. All right.
Well said.
That's enough. What else?
Speaking of replacing managers, I think the Odell Poop Pimps need to make a big change next season. You are on the cusp of creating a Pornhub account to upload your first video.
And timeout. Is this regular season or postseason? Last place.
We're talking regular season. I mean, does it matter? Your point total is 200 lower than the next guy. And
I will say this: I got fucked because Emma's OnlyFans page and I were playing when I was supposed to demolish him for last place, and then there was the week of the Bucks and the fucking Patriots, and I had half my team not play because there were gale force winds. Stephon Diggs didn't have a fucking touch.
So you are
Get ready to see my cock.
You're up against Mr. McGiblets, and you are favored by 7 points. Jarvis Landry on his team's on COVID-19, so
don't say anything.
And Jalen Waddle also, he lost Jalen Waddle to COVID. He's lost.
Wait, Jalen Waddle's on COVID now?
Hamstring.
I got him in another one. I can't do this anymore. I'm done.
3 hours ago.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. I'm done.
But your team is solid, and you should win this week, which would actually propel you to 11th place, assuming Emma's OnlyFans loses to Circling the Wagons, which they are projected to do so.
Well, I have to win, and I'm not going to finish in last place in my own goddamn podcast fantasy football league. Enough's a fucking enough. I can't.
And you were playing in the shit division. There's 2 divisions. The one me and Lucas are in is very good, very competitive. The champion's going to come out of there for sure. And we kind of got screwed in the scheduling. Your division is awful.
Are we putting a bet in this week?
Yeah. So what I have right now, did you want to stick with the Rams? You want to go with the Chiefs, correct?
Sorry?
You want to go with the Chiefs covering the 3 points tonight?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I have the Chiefs -3. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers are now a pick'em -110, Jacksonville -5, and the Broncos -3. Are there any other games that we feel like? I think the Saints are going to cover 11 points against the Bucks. San Francisco on the money line, they'll beat the Falcons in a must-win game. Although the Falcons have to win that too. They're technically still in the running. The Cardinals beat the Lions. We could throw that on the money line. The Dolphins and Jets, although the Dolphins, we have to see what's going on with COVID. Who knows? Bills, Panthers, Washington, Philly. Anything there you want to throw on the money line?
No, I mean, I like Washington. I like Washington beating Philly, but
Heineke might not play.
I know that again. I don't know what the fucking
Lauren may not.
It's Thursday, for God's sakes. So,
yeah, it's the tragedy of making these
before
Friday final practice.
Then let's leave it alone. Then let's go with the four that we like.
I'm gonna guess I'll pay $560. No, I'm gonna guess $620.
4 games, but there's a pick'em game in there too. So I'm gonna say 4 games. It's $512.
Lucas is closer, but it's technically by Price is Right rules. Steve wins. It's 602 and 26.
Whoa!
Oh, that's bullshit.
Price is Right rules. Lock it in. Chiefs -3, Steelers on a pick'em, Jaguars -5, and Broncos -3.
Tiger Woods is playing golf this weekend with his son, which is unbelievable.
Which Denny's are they going to after?
Dude, not cool. His son is with him. He wouldn't fuck a Denny's waitress in front of his son. That's what his dad did, and that's what fucked him up.
Get a grand slam to celebrate.
Well, his son is probably hits the ball further than him. So wherever his son feels like playing or you feel like eating, that's where they have to go. Tiger Woods is going to play on essentially one leg. They're going to let him take a cart, which is awesome. But we're going to get to watch the guy swing a golf club and probably play, not competitively, but on Sunday they start to talk a little shit, and he'll probably be paired with Justin Thomas and his dad, who they like playing together. And so, yeah, it'll be fun to watch. It's fun to watch the two of them play. And Tiger Woods is actually swinging a golf club again, which no one ever thought he would. So I'm happy about that. Anything else you fucking guys have? Anything?
You see the trailer for the Kevin James film?
No, what is it?
He's playing Sean Payton. It looks terrible.
What?
It's a Happy Madison production. A couple of years ago, Sean Payton came to the Comedy Store. He's in that back bar.
Yeah.
I was talking to him for a while. And apparently, like, his daughter is married in the Sandler family somehow. Like, she's married to his cousin or something. So they have some sort of relationship. So Barstool yesterday did a casting call for all the NFL coaches. And of course, you can guess who was Sean McDermott.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Okay.
My favorite was Andy Reid, and they proposed casting him with Christian Bale. So it's another role that he can gain 150 pounds for. Yeah, let me find this.
Did they do Joe Judge?
They did Joe Judge. Let's see. Barstool Sports.
I got to see this trailer though
Was it
too.
Butthead?
It wasn't.
I'm trying to think. Joe Judge. Who would we have played Joe Judge?
All right. Here we go. I found it. Let's see who they had. I forget. My two favorite were that Andy Reid and then okay, so you had
All right, Belichick is Mel Gibson. That works perfectly.
Yeah.
Bill Burr and
Yeah,
McDermott. Yep, that's great.
this is
Oh,
a
The
good
Rock. Yeah,
Okay.
that's complimentary. Yep. Okay. Robert Salaya, Jamie Foxx. Okay.
one. That's-
Kinnear as Harbaugh. All right. Who's oh that's
Zach Taylor.
yep.
Then Affleck is the COVID coach. This is, of course, everybody knows that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I like this call, but this is not relevant anymore.
We have Schreiber as Urban Meyer. Yep.
This is, I don't know who this is an insult to more.
Oh,
Nick Fangio
Matt
or Matt
Perry as Nick Finn.
Yeah.
That's hilarious though. That could work. Caliendo. Well, that's just because he does the
Obviously.
impression. Yeah, that's the impression.
It does kind of look like him though.
Christian
I like
Bale,
this
dude. I
one.
love that.
And
NFC
then
East. Let's see.
Look how
Yes.
accurate this is.
Oh yeah, Jack Black as Mike McCarthy. That's not bad at all.
Jack Black might have to gain some weight though. Oh yeah, okay. So they had Beck Bennett as
Beck Bennett as Joe Judge. That's great. He would nail the intensity and probably the doofusness of it as well.
all right. Do you want to see the rest? See
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I know him.
kind of see that.
Ron Rivera.
Mm.
Here we go. Who's that? Which wrestler's that?
The Big Show.
The Big Show.
Yeah. These are pretty good though.
Oh yeah. That's not a bad one either.
Oh yeah, Bruce. I thought
Dude, Bruce Arians, Kevin James, or was that
John C. Riley.
John C. Riley, Ryan Gosling. God damn. Clint Kingsbury must be happy. I don't even know who that kid is. Who's the actor?
I don't know. Oh, it's
The Hunger Games kid.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I thought Richard Gere as Pete Carroll's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Pete Carroll, Richard Gere. That's not bad. Well, I got to go check out this trailer because it looks like a disaster. Kevin James as Sean Payton. What is it about? The year that they got fucking suspended? And what do
I
you
think that's part of it. It's
Ugh.
it's a comedy, and I think he goes and coaches a high school team during the year.
But he's playing actually Sean Payton.
He's playing Sean Payton, and I think the story's made up though. It's confusing as far as like what's real, what isn't. I haven't like
I gotta
researched it
check
all,
this
but
out.
It looks like a piece of shit.
All right. Well, that's the podcast for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening. Please tell somebody else, rate, subscribe, listen, download all the bullshit. We'll be back before the holidays, so we'll do another one before Christmas, and we promise. And at that point, I'm sure the Bills will be, the ship will be righted. The Giants, who knows? Maybe they could shock the world and get a win this weekend, but probably not.
They
So
have a 35% chance, according to betting odds,
I love it. That's
to at least cover, Steve. To at least cover.
32% more than I give them. So good for them. Thank you guys, and we will talk to you next week.
Go Bills.